Hey everyone, I'm just going to do a comparison here of the Samsung Galaxy Gear, the original, versus the Gear 2 Neo. You'll note that it's now not called Galaxy Gear. The newer version is just called the Gear 2 without the Galaxy. Galaxy being Android, whereas the new one's not Android. It's actually Samsung's own model. So just kind of comparing aesthetics, if you look at the screens, they're roughly the same size, from top to bottom as well as from side to side. If you look at the thickness of them, the original Galaxy Gear is going to be much thicker. So it's going to the Gear 2 Neo is going to sit a lot more flat on your wrist. It won't have as much of a profile sticking out from your wrist. Also, the original one has this metal surrounding here, as well as the Gear 2, but not the Gear 2 Neo. It's more of a plastic setup, but it's a pretty good quality from what I can feel. The band here on the original Gear has kind of almost a brushed look to it. I don't know if you can see it that well, but there's basically lines going from top to bottom all the way around. So if you kind of rub this way, it's, that's where the texture is up and down this way. Over here you have more of this checkerboard, or whatever you want to call it, kind of texture to the Neo. I'm just going to call it the Neo. And then looking at the body of it, you have the power button on the side here for the original Gear, and the power button is actually right here on the body, or the bottom of the screen for the Neo. I'm charging it up for the first time. Turning it over to the back, you're going to notice that this is pretty much flat. It's almost flat to the device. It's a very thin clasp, whereas this one's thicker. And part of the reason why this is thicker is you have the microphone in here. I've been using the Gear for probably about a month now. It's a fantastic device. Definitely recommend it. It does have a camera over here, whereas the Neo does not have a camera at all. That's what makes it less expensive than the Gear 2, just the regular Gear 2 as opposed to the Neo. I decided to go with the Neo because price point versus the fact that, to be honest with you, I have not really used this camera. Now, some people gripe about it being there and kind of sticking out a little bit, but it hasn't bothered me. The clasp as well, some people complain that this sticks out a little bit and can be annoying. I haven't had any problem with it. I can't really complain, to be honest. As far as the way they look, I have not turned this on yet, and I can do a full review of the Neo once I play around with it a little bit. Neo does have an IR blaster. Maybe I don't have the right name for this, but basically you can change your television and such with this little infrared thing right here. Going back to the weight of them, this one's definitely a little bit lighter weight. This one's definitely a little bit heavier, a little thicker, bulkier. I do like the way this feels. Both of them have this similar clasp where it kind of snaps into place. I'll show that here. Kind of snaps in, so when you open this up here, something pretty darn similar as to the way they're set up. So you'll notice that clasps are very similar. This one obviously thicker because of the microphone being here. On the Neo, the microphone is actually, where is it? The microphone is over here, and the speaker is right there. So it's built into the body, and that's what allows the clasp to be a lot thinner. Now, when it comes to charging, this big contraption is the charger for the Gear. And basically what you do is you enclose it in this device right here and charge it that way. And where the charging port, I feel, is a little bit kind of cramped there to get that in there. Also, if you kind of feel that the coloring being the same, you have this particular like brownish color on the watch itself. The charger has the same color, but the charging cord is white. Whereas with the Neo, this one's in black, charge port's also in black. You'll also notice that rather than it being an entire housing around the entire device, you simply have a clip-on device that goes on here. Also, when it comes to the Gear Fit, it has something very similar to this as well. It's not as obtrusive, and it just snaps into place there and charges away. So style-wise and feel and all that, I feel like these two, this one's definitely going to be a little bit lighter weight. The charger, the charging port on the side makes it a little bit smoother. So from aesthetic standpoint, you got the camera here, you don't have that here. Both are excellent devices. Both do a ton of great things. I've used this for lots of calls, owning my own business. Makes it much more difficult to miss a call, which you like, because you can set it on vibrate, and when your wrist vibrates, you'll notice that a call's coming in. You'll notice text messages and such that you otherwise might miss. So that's nice. The screen is definitely nice, very customizable. When it comes to, I changed this so that the weather shows up here as opposed to, I think the default is for when you swipe down, it'll be the keypad. So I actually made that so that when you swipe up, it's the keypad. Haven't actually used the keypad itself. Apps, I've used Runkeeper and such on here. I use the voice memo every so often, but not much. Gallery is only if you're really doing, pictures on this. Pedometer, yep, 2 miles. I don't know if that's how long it's been that I did that, but hey, it's not very accurate on that. But this is just to kind of go over the devices themselves. So going to the Neo, I'm going to turn it on, and you're going to find that it says Gear 2, does not say Neo on it. And as I might have mentioned, the Gear 2, Neo and Gear 2 are basically the same except for the camera. The camera on the Neo goes on here. Just tell me to download the Gear software in order to make this device work. So that's just generally a quick overview. I think the question will become, in my mind, whether having the home button here versus having it on the side becomes something that I enjoy, or if I prefer to have it here. I think that's a matter of preference, maybe an opinion, but I think with either device you're not going to go wrong. I'd love to hear your comments and questions. If you're interested, I could also do a full review of either of these two, as well as the Gear Fit, as I have one of those as well. Thanks for watching, and like this and subscribe to see more of my technology videos. Thanks.